Hello and welcome to another video for Minus Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at the 1999 release by Hasbro from their Star Wars The Power of the Force 12-inch series of action figures. And this particular action figure we are looking at today is of the Wookiee Chewbacca. And these figures were basically in scale. So this particular figure is over 13 inches tall compared to the other 12-inch action figures. So they made it in scale because obviously the Wookiee was a lot bigger than everybody else. So this is the box that it comes in, and it says at the top of the box ages 4 and up, and it's item number 57136 and assortment number 57135. You can see Chewbacca just behind the window. And it says Chewbacca over 13 inches tall. And you've got the Darth Vader logo at the bottom there, Darth Vader's face helmet. Star Wars, The Power of the Force, and the Hasbro logo at the bottom. Okay, so that's the front of the box. If I just turn the box round to the back, there we can see this one is obviously from Return of the Jedi. You've got the image there of Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and Chewbacca in the Forest of Endor. And it says, Star Wars, The Power of the Force. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, the adventure continues with this exciting introduction of figures from the Star Wars trilogy. Each figure is authentically styled with incredible details and is fully posable. And it's got, there's the image there on the Endor Forest. It says, Luke, Han and Chewbacca discover that Princess Leia did not return from the speeder bike chase in the Endor Forest. And it says Star Wars Episode 1. A generation before Star Wars A New Hope, in a galaxy far, far away, an evil force is gaining strength and threatens an entire civilization. 2 courageous Jedi and a young queen and Gungan outcast and a slave boy named Anakin band together to save a planet under attack from the fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance. Look for all these new characters, vehicles and accessories. And then at the bottom you've got other figures in this same series. So you've got Han Solo with magnetic detonators, Princess Leia with chain, and Chewbacca over 13 inches tall, which is what this one is. It says collect them all, and it's got visit the official Star Wars website, HTTP www.starwars.com. Visit the official Star Wars Hasbro website, hasbro.com. And you've got all the copyright information and license information at the bottom there. You've got Star Wars Fan Club, which you can join. And then, of course, you've got the proof of purchase with the barcode. And you get 20 Jedi Master Points with this. Okay, so that's the back of the box. Let's just turn the box to the side. And there again, you can see it just says Action Collection at the very top. Hasbro logo. And you've got the Darth Vader helmet logo. Star Wars, The Power of the Force, Chewbacca over 13 inches tall, and it's fully posable figure, authentically styled. And I think it was pretty much, yeah, so the other side of the box is exactly the same. And if we just drop the box to the front, you can see it says Star Wars, The Power of the Force, Chewbacca over 13 inches tall, and Hasbro logo at the bottom. And it says retain packaging for reference. And on the very bottom of the box, yep, just exactly the same. Star Wars, Power of the Force, Chewbacca, over 18 inches tall, and Hasbro logo. Okay, that's the box and all its markings. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the box and take the figure out. I don't know if I can remove the figure from the packaging, but I'm going to take the figure out and let's have a look at him outside of the box. Okay, so I have removed him from the packaging. You can see from the inner packaging here, the box has got a little bit, the inner packaging has got a little bit squashed. But you can see Chewbacca is still there in all his glory. And let's just have a zoom in and have a look at the figure itself. I mean, that's a great likeness of the Wookiee from the original trilogy. As portrayed by Peter Mayhew. Incidentally, these figures were released in 1999 when just before the Attack of the Clones, the Phantom Menace was being released. The new films, the original 3 films were remastered and returned to the cinema screen, and these figures were released in conjunction with those films going back onto the cinema screen for the first time since their original release, and they were remastered. So Then Hasbro decided to release all of the figures again, and they've done this 12-inch range, which in my opinion, I think the 12-inch figures are just phenomenal. I really do. They're so much better than the small figures. I just think the original Power of the Force 12-inch figures were the best that they produced. Okay, so this is the Wookiee, and there he is. There's great likeness to Chewbacca. Very good likeness, in fact, compared to the 3 3/4 inch figure. So yeah, good likeness. The mouth is brilliant with his tongue on the inside as well, and he's making that roar. Obviously, he comes with his sash and his bag. The bag should be attached to the back of the box. If I just going down the back there, you can see whether it's come away from it was a thread that held it in the back, and that's obviously come away. But he's got his sash and his bag. He's got his bowcaster there, which is strapped to his body. It's all held on by straps actually, so yeah, I can't really remove this, and he's all strapped in. His legs are strapped in at the bottom. Yeah, so I'm not. If I try and take this off, I'm never going to be able to get it back on the card, so I'm not going to remove it. But let's have a look at the articulation wise. So I think the head. I'm not sure if now the head does move. The shoulders, you've got articulation on the shoulders and the arms. There's no articulation on the hands, but you do have articulation on the tops of the legs. You can see the waist there is articulate, and also the knee joints. So the articulation is not actually bad. So you can see that the knee joints there, there's articulation there, and you can see the tops of the legs there where there's articulation, and just around the stomach there's articulation. So head, shoulders, arms, waist, tops of the legs, knee joints. So that's the articulation you get with these figures. And like I say, this particular figure is over 13 inches tall. He's in a 12-inch box, but over 13 inches tall. Obviously his legs are bent, so they've made him a little bit crunched up so that he fits into the same size as the other boxes. But generally, absolutely phenomenal figure. And a great accessory. The bowcaster, it's in 2 pieces actually. I think you have to, yeah, you do. So the bottom bit slots onto the cross section there, and then he should. I don't know how well these figures hold them. Yeah, because the hands are not pliable, they are solid plastic, the hands. So I don't really know how well he's going to hold that bowcaster, but. You know, maybe so. It's yeah, it's a shame that those hands are not movable, because like on the Black Series figures that you've got these days, the hands are so pliable. If only they were back then, and then these figures would really be able to hold their weapons perfectly, but they do struggle. So sometimes you need to have a little bit of help with them, so maybe a little bit of sticky stuff to help them hold the weapons properly, because the hands just weren't quite right back in the day. So how well did these figures do? Well, yep, they done very well. Not as well as the smaller figures. Obviously the 3 3/4 inch figures were designed more for the children, so they can have a great play with their figures. The bigger ones were obviously a bit too big for their hands, so they didn't sell as well, and obviously in comparison they were a lot more money than what the smaller figures were. So they didn't sell as well as the smaller figures, or in any volumes as the smaller figures did. So I think there was, obviously they did sell quite a lot of them, but nowhere near in the comparison of the smaller figures. And to be honest with you, I think most people that bought these figures were the older, so the teenagers rather than the smaller children. And they really, I don't think they played a tremendous amount. These wouldn't have been played with a tremendous amount. They would have been more likely to have been on the display shelf, or in a cabinet, something like that. Which is what I think they're perfect for. They're best when they're on display, these type of figures. So yeah, overall they didn't do as well as the smaller figures, but they still, obviously Star Wars, everything sells with Star Wars, and yeah, these items still sold, but not the volumes that I think they hoped would have gone. And it's understandable, as I say, because they are the bigger figures, more expensive and less likely to be played with by the kids. So now we are talking 25 years on since these figures were released. 25 years ago since that original trilogy of films went back to the cinema, and 25 years ago since the release of The Phantom Menace. I cannot believe how quickly that's gone. But there we are, a quarter of a century just goes like that. And here we are. So nowadays, these figures are becoming quite difficult to find, especially in this mint unopened condition, as obviously this one is. As you can see, it's still sealed in the box, although the box is a little bit squashed at the sides, and the tape is just beginning to lift slightly around the edges. But generally, overall, the figure's mint. The box is probably not quite as mint as it could have been, but hey, you know, 25 years on, there's obviously going to be some wear and tear on the cardboard. But obviously nowadays, these figures are getting harder and harder and harder to find. They do pop up from time to time on the platforms. A lot of the time they've been opened and they're out of the box, or they've been opened and just put back in the box unstrapped and so on. So you can pick them up on platforms. They do pop up from time to time. But in this mint unopened condition, they're very, very hard to find. However, we at Midas Touch have done it again. We've managed to find a few of these figures, and they're currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It'll take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Wars items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that you're not going to want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this action figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next time.